Hey everybody, Burnout here. So, we had a little bit of fun tonight. So for those of you who were part of it, my friend Brigham and I, Mr. Nobody of Consequence, we did a podcast with a friend of ours, Sarah, who is here, is also a transgender person like I am, trans woman rather. I just say person, it's a force of habit. You'll have to forgive me, I am still a little bit tipsy. And a bit tired, of course. But anyway, so we went downstairs to go and have a nice little a nice little barbecue with a friend of ours, and he was doing it as for Memorial Day as kind of a really nice little gift to us, and to me, despite we'll just go away from the whole Memorial Day meaning thing. But I had went downstairs and brought food down and things, was having a drink. Came back upstairs really quick to grab my phone, actually, just to check it, and I wanted to take a few pictures while I was downstairs. And the lady across the little walkway that we have here in the apartments right directly across from us on the ground floor, the lady came up and accosted me quite, just came up on me pretty quick, yelling and screaming at me about being in my skirt and my feminine clothing. Well, it very quickly just became this massive amount of insanity that I don't know what it just happened. I don't even know what to say. It was really interesting because, admittedly, up until this point, I have not had any real issues with anyone being very, bigoted against me, being a transgender person, and while I know it's going to eventually have been a thing, it kind of sucked that it had to be tonight when we were, just trying to have a good time. But I don't know. I just kind of wanted to tell the story. I walk downstairs. She comes up and starts yelling at me. The Bible says this and that and the other. And for anyone who knows me now, of course, I'm an atheist. I don't believe anything the Bible says. That book's about as useful to me as Harry Potter is for living my life, which is nothing. Sorry, I know I'm moving the mic a little bit here. I feel like I'm a little out of place. And it was just this really crazy event. She's yelling and screaming at me, but the nice thing was, I guess it wasn't a form of general surprise. It was more a very nice little bit of validation to me that even people who don't know me, would stand up for me just for doing what comes naturally to me, or what feels right to me. And while I did have a few friends down there that we were already planning on spending time together, our downstairs neighbor Rob and his wife Ginger have been really great people for us here. They've always been people we could go and talk to and have a good evening with, share a drink or two for sure. But all these other, there was a ton of other kids outside and families of all sorts and just people who live in the apartment complex that are there with, a brother, or we've got a couple of little awesome Mexican dudes who are down right next to Rob. Unfortunately, I tried talking with them tonight. I can't speak Spanish, so I'm screwed there. But anyways, I can't speak any of the languages actually. But it was extremely moving and an amazing thing for me to know that not only would Rob, who, yes, is a good friend, I knew he would stand up for me, but these other people that I had never met came over and were being very, there was a community is the thing that was amazing to me. They came over, they were, trying to be as uplifting as possible for me, being very, positive towards me. Even the freaking kids who were like, I think the youngest one there was like 7. And they all came up and said, "Don't worry about this stupid lady. We don't care. you do you. And that's exactly what one of them said. The oldest one said that. And I think he was probably in his early teens. But it's, this one crazy lady, and the cops didn't even need to talk to anyone. They immediately went over to her, yelled at her, made her sit down because she was still ranting and raving. Now, mind you, it took, Rob called the cops only a few minutes at most after she first started, confronting me. And the only thing I did is I did respond back to her in a couple of very small statements, most along those lines as, as far as going into, she's yelling, "You're not allowed to go in to Walmart or Target or whatever and go grab a skirt off the shelf and go take it into the dressing room and try it on. Like, I'm not allowed to. That's against the law. I know the law." And it's very obvious that she didn't. I mean, this isn't even a matter of that. This is just a blatant, like, oh, I know this, but you just don't. You never studied anything involving it. And, of course, again, she's yelling and screaming that she didn't need to see this. This is not the last thing she wanted to see tonight before going to bed was a guy, quote-unquote a guy, dressed in a skirt down here in front of all these children. I'm a bad influence on everyone. And the funniest thing is when the kids came up and talked to me afterwards, they were... Sorry, I'm a little distracted. Tim's playing Overwatch in the background, so I'm trying to talk over him. He's on with some friends. Anyways, the kids, when I was talking with them, of course they said, it doesn't matter to us because you do you. It's who you are. Just be what you are. And, and I told them, I'm like, that's intensely mature of kids of their level to, and mind you, I guess to some extent, I find this a little more surprising from, I guess, these kids in specific. And I'm not trying to be some racist fuck or anything like that. But it was the very large, multiple black families that we have in this apartment complex. They're all really great people. I love hanging out with them. They're fun to be with. But usually you would tend to see them being a little bit more against it. But, they're like, no, it's you do you. One of the mothers did say, and no offense, it's fine for you, but to my boys, I don't want to see you guys doing that because I'm just not ready to handle that. And I'm like, well, in that case, it's that's their issue with their mother and their families that way. And for me, I told them they were intensely mature and intelligent for noticing and seeing that it's okay to tolerate what people like me are doing. They're not thinking inside of a box anymore. And she's, the lady was just ranting and screaming. It's a bad influence on the kids too, and all that stuff. And the kids they don't care. You know what they wanted to do? They were too busy playing Red Rover or Red Light, Green Light or something like that. In the little bit of grass patch that we have out here. And we had food out for everyone. It was a nice get together. Ruined, not really ruined. I can't call it ruined. Interrupted by one loud-mouthed, bigoted bitch. The nice thing was the cops came, and as a nice closer to this story, or at least the ending to it, the cops took her away in handcuffs. She will not be coming back tonight. Charges have been pressed on her, and I may end up having to spend a little bit of time in court potentially, which would be interesting. It'd be the first time I've ever had to do that. But it is what it is. In life, I've expected something like this. The funny thing is, and probably the best part about the whole thing was that, of course, Briggs decided that he was going to debate her, and in that he just had the biggest blast in telling her that her view, that she can have her views all she wants and she has the right to speak them, but I am under no obligation to follow what she dictates. The law here in Arizona says nothing about whether or not I can be around my own home in a skirt. I mean, it's just not a thing. That I'm not allowed to go into Target or into Walmart and these places and go use the bathroom of my choice, things like that. When, Target has already openly said that no, as a trans woman, I have the right to be able to go in and use the bathroom that I feel most comfortable with. Now, at this point, that particular bathroom is still the male's bathroom. It just makes it 100 times easier. I don't want to deal with any issues. But I think Briggs had a lot of fun with this tonight, Mr. Nobody of Consequence. So his thing was he just debated her. Her basic statement was over and over again, it biblically wrong, and that she shouldn't have to see this, especially before she's going to bed. And my only thought was, you don't have a TV? Like you could easily talk or easily watch the TV for half an hour and then be like, my last thing before I went to bed was, really amazing smutty porn, or, watching a episode of South Park, or in her case, probably watching an episode of the 700 Club. Blech. But anyways, fun little craziness happened tonight. Figured I'd let you guys know. It's been a while since I've done a video like this, and I think I need to do them more often. Kind of get this channel growing a little bit, and I'm starting to get more confidence in doing things like this and being on camera and being in my own, with the clothing that it feels right to me, things like that. So hopefully you'll start seeing a few more videos like this out of me. I don't know if you guys like this at all, but it is what it is. I'm doing my best. All right, everyone. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and comment, let's talk about this one. See what you guys think. Was she justified in saying that I'm not, in saying that I'm not allowed to go out dressed like this, or whatever the case may be? Or was it, or was the mob mentality, which was to protect me, the right one? No physical violence happened at all. It was literally just a matter of 6 or 7 people crowding around her and telling her she's wrong, and why she's wrong. So, but it was nice to have that level of community and care from the people that, some that I knew, some that I didn't know, who met me, talked with me, and we hung out with, and they like me, at least in some small aspect. I'm not saying we're great friends now. No, they like me as I am, able to go out and enjoy my time out, wearing what I want with no fear or trepidation about it. So anyways, I hope you guys, hope you guys at least enjoyed the video. I'm sorry, I'm still a little drunk. So leave comments down below in the little box down below. Like the video if you have, if you did enjoy it, and of course share it with your friends on all social media of all types. I'm still kind of new to this, so give me a little time. I'm sure we'll get better. Good night, everybody.